My turn to venture into the ring with one-on-one NFL resident expert Alex Rosenbaum to try and figure out where this parity-filled NFL season is going to end. Alex, to start with this, the Eagles have been very good all season, but Michael Vick's healthy, and they just beat the Colts. Yeah. Are they now the team to beat in the NFC East?
They definitely are, and you look when Vick has been in the game, when he's played the complete game, they are 3-0. Their best target on the field, Deshaun Jackson, has had over 100 yards receiving every time Vick plays. Vick is the most explosive player, and he's matured over the last 2 years.
Absolutely.
And he really has started throwing the ball more accurately and making better decisions. And this could be the first year that he has a completion percentage over 60%, and I think that'll help them win the division.
Right. I agree with you, all of that stuff about Michael Vick. He's great. But the New York Giants are playing much better football on every facet.
Who have they played? The two real playoff teams that they have faced, they lost to in both Indianapolis and Tennessee. I think both teams make the playoffs, don't get me wrong, but I think the Eagles are more explosive. I think their defense will develop. They've been one of the best in the league for the last 10 years, and I love Vick more than I love Eli. That's what it comes down to.
And that's fair, but we'll see where this is going in 2 weeks because these two teams have not met yet. No. In 2 weeks, we will know which team is better. Now, the Minnesota Vikings beat the Arizona Cardinals in overtime this week. Alex, is this the spark that they needed to get their playoff push going?
I really think it was. Brett Favre had one of the best games of his career high in passing that game, and he really led that team down the charge after the Vikings made really bad mistakes early in the game. Adrian Peterson is on pace for another great season. He's on pace for over 100 yards. He has over 100 yards a game. He'll have about 1,700 on the season. And I think this controversy with Childress is going to start bubbling down as they keep winning and they enter into the easier part of their schedule. Plus, I think the Bears a little overhyped. I don't think they're nearly as good as the record shows. And I think the Packers have showed that they weren't the dominant team that everyone thought that they were going to be coming into this season.
Right, now I agree with you, but I feel like they might have dug themselves too big a hole early on in the season to come back. 3 games back in the division, and they've not played well within the division. Now, the wild card teams will be coming out of the East and South. That's not really even a question. Now, the Falcons, on the other hand, are 6-2, and they've run through their division. Mm-hmm. Are they the best team in the NFC South?
I think they are, and they beat New Orleans at New Orleans. And that's
that's
the biggest win for them all year because they are one of the best home teams in football. They haven't lost at home. Their losses have come on the road at Pittsburgh and at Philadelphia, who are both, I think, playoff teams. The fact that they won that game at New Orleans, they have to play them again at home. They won't lose at home. I think it's just the one edge they needed to continue the season and win. And I think their schedule, again, the NFC schedules are very easy, and I think they'll just continue to roll through.
And that's why I think that they are not the best team in the NFC South right now because their schedule has just been a complete cakewalk. Now, on the other side, the AFC has been very, very good with numerous teams. But which team is the best in the AFC?
I think we can both agree that there's probably 5 teams that have locked playoff spots. And I don't want to say the Colts quite yet, but you have Peyton Manning, you're going to be there. But then you have 4 teams, 6-2. You have the Ravens, the Steelers, the Patriots, and the Jets. I think those teams have locked their playoff spots already. Now, the team that's the best of those, the Ravens. They've beaten both the Jets and the Steelers. They've won close games. Joe Flacco, another quarterback who's matured really well, and they're just a tough team. Tough running with Ray Rice, tough receiver with Anquan Boldin, and of course you got Ray Lewis on that defense, one of the best in the NFL.
Old Spice and Ray Lewis. He's got to be tough. Now, I got to say Pittsburgh is the best team in the AFC because they were 3-1 without Ben Roethlisberger. They're 3-1 with him. Now, granted, they haven't really played as well on offense as we thought they would when he came back. Yeah. But the defense is just so good. They keep him in every game.
Their defense, especially with Troy Polamalu healthy, unlike last year, he's going to be there to keep them in every game. Big Ben has not been the spark they needed. 6 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. But they're a good team. They're going to beat them every week. But the Ravens beat them head-to-head, and I think they're going to beat them again later in the season. Ravens are my team.
We'll have to see when they meet again. Time to pay the sponsors, but after the break, Eric will be joined by Greg Brzezowski and Tom Waterman to decipher the end of the college football season. You're watching One-on-One Sports.